Hello all of you wonderful people, I hope that you are doing well and that you have had a good week so far. I really hope that you have gained some value from the training that we have done so far and that you have learned something about your human breath and how to start accessing and experimenting with different breathing techniques so that you can truly experience the true power of your own human breath. So in today's video I'm going to be covering 3 different topics, and the topics that we are going to be covering is asthma and how to deal with asthma through breathing techniques, and then we are going to look at insomnia and how certain breathing techniques can help you sleep better and put you in a better space before you go to sleep so that you have a high likelihood of having a good night's rest. And then third, I'm going to introduce you to some very basic breathing techniques that will strengthen your lungs and your overall respiratory resilience so that if you have any COPD issues, you can practice these breathing techniques just to start building up on the general strength and overall resilience of your respiratory system and your breathing health. So in this video, there's going to be 3 very important topics that are going to be covered, so I urge you to watch it. Very basic breathing exercises that anyone can do, and I guarantee you that you're going to gain value from this video. In the first part of this video we are going to be addressing asthma, which is a very common problem and a breathing issue throughout the world. Millions of people suffer from asthma, and the people that suffer from asthma range from young children all the way through to people in their 90s, and unfortunately asthma is creating a big issue in the breathing world where people are not able to take in the correct volume of air into their lungs when they breathe in and out, and in doing so their lungs aren't able to extract a lot of the oxygen that your body needs. And there are lots of knock-on effects of not breathing in the most efficient way possible due to asthma. And this is where I'm going to point out a few very important tips for you to start becoming aware of how you're breathing if you have asthma. And then I'm going to give you a few little breathing exercises that are going to allow you to start tapping into your human breath and to start breathing in a more efficient way and a more healthy way so that you can start dealing with your asthma simply through basic breathing exercises and just by making small changes to the way in which you breathe. So if you have asthma, you will be very familiar with sometimes the struggle that it is to take a breath in and out, and you might experience that panic or stress of not feeling that you're able to breathe properly, and that when you're breathing in and out, it is actually very difficult to breathe in and out. So asthma is just that constriction and the narrowing of your breathing passageways, but you are still able to tap into your full human breath even if you have asthma. And I'm going to introduce you to some very small and easy tips that you can start implementing into your breathing habits on a daily occurrence so that you can start slowly but surely dealing with your asthmatic symptoms through basic breathing techniques. So when it comes to asthma, there are 2 breathing habits which are greatly detrimental to your breathing health if you have asthma, and most people who have asthma struggle from these 2 bad breathing habits which they have developed over the years. And the 2 breathing habits which I'm talking about is namely mouth breathing, which is breathing in and out through your mouth, and then a thing called chronic overbreathing, or breathing too much at a frequency that is too high. So we will first address mouth breathing, and then we will address overbreathing or chronic overbreathing. So one of the main issues when it comes to breathing if you are asthmatic is mouth breathing. And mouth breathing is just simply breathing in and out of your mouth for the majority of your breath throughout the day. So I highlighted some of the differences and comparisons between nasal breathing and mouth breathing in the first video on Monday, and the conclusion is that nasal breathing is much healthier for you. But when it comes to people who are asthmatic, nasal breathing can sometimes be a bit stressful because it is more difficult, or it seems more difficult for them to breathe in and out through the nose. So with asthma constricting your air passageways and making it feel like it is more difficult for you to breathe, I can understand why breathing in and out through the nose might make you a bit nervous. But let me tell you why it is probably one of the best things that you can do for your breathing health is to move away from that mouth breathing and into the nasal breathing if you are asthmatic. So what happens when you breathe in and out through your mouth? That breath that you have taken in contains about 79% nitrogen and only 21% oxygen, with small trace amounts of other elements. So ultimately that breath that you have taken in only has 21% oxygen that you have access to, or that your lungs have access to extract. That oxygen can only be extracted by your lungs and to diffuse into your red blood cells and bind with the hemoglobin if there is a certain amount of carbon dioxide in your lungs. So the oxygen from that breath that you have taken in is only able to be accessed by your lungs if you have carbon dioxide in your lungs. So most of us learn at school and through biology that carbon dioxide is a toxic byproduct in our body, and that our body expels carbon dioxide because we do not need it. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Carbon dioxide is actually vitally important in the breathing process and in having a healthy breathing mechanism. Without that carbon dioxide, our body would not be able to extract the oxygen from that breath that we have taken in and taken out. So when you breathe in and out through your mouth, we are actually expelling, when we exhale, more carbon dioxide from our lungs than what we should be, and we are denying our lungs that the correct amount of carbon dioxide, the correct volume of carbon dioxide in our lungs for the optimum oxygen exchange to take place. So if mouth breathing is not the optimum way, and most definitely not a healthy way to breathe if you are asthmatic, then we can automatically assume that the opposite of mouth breathing, the nasal breathing, is the healthiest way to breathe if you are asthmatic, or in general the nasal breathing or nose breathing is most definitely the healthiest way to breathe. But when it comes to asthma or asthmatic people, nasal breathing or breathing in and out through the nose is highly beneficial for two specific reasons. The first reason being the nitric oxide that your body gets access to when you breathe in and out through the nose, and then secondly has got to do with the rate at which you breathe in and out when you breathe in and out through your nose. So if you breathe in through your mouth, your lungs do not get any access to nitric oxide, whereas if you breathe in through your nose, there's those small passages in your nasal cavity which produce the nitric oxide molecule, and as you inhale through the nose, that nitric oxide molecule gets drawn down deep into your lungs, and all that nitric oxide does is it is a vasodilator, so it will make all the blood vessels and the capillaries in your lungs open up, which allows for a higher exchange rate of oxygen to move from that breath that you have taken in to bind with the hemoglobin. So that nitric oxide is an incredibly helpful molecule when it comes to increasing the oxygen that your lungs have access to when you breathe in, and you can only get access to that nitric oxide by breathing in and out through your nose. Secondly, nasal breathing is the best way in which to breathe if you want to regulate your breathing rate, and all that it does is it will regulate the amount of carbon dioxide leaving your body when you exhale. And like I explained, carbon dioxide is vitally important inside your lungs and inside your body in order for that oxygen exchange and that oxygen diffusion to take place within your lungs. The second main contributor to poor breathing health in asthmatics is a thing called chronic overbreathing. And overbreathing is just simply breathing in and out too many times per minute. Basically breathing in and out too much. And this might sound a bit funny and a bit counterintuitive, because surely if we are breathing in and out, we are doing the correct thing in giving our lungs access to that air and access to that oxygen. But if you think about it, if you're breathing in and out too quickly, you are not actually giving your lungs the correct amount of time and opportunity that they need in order to extract that oxygen from that breath that you have taken in. So this is a quick and easy exercise to determine what your breathing rate is and how many breaths you are taking in and out per minute. So the average breathing rate is anywhere between 12 to 20 breaths per minute. If you find yourself breathing more than 20 breaths per minute, you can consider yourself an overbreather, and this is something that you should work on. And if you find yourself breathing less than 12 breaths per minute, anywhere between 8 to 12 breaths per minute, this is something that's perfectly okay. You just have a slow breathing rate, which is actually a good thing. So the easiest way to do this is just to sit down or lie down somewhere where you can be completely comfortable, and make sure that you have a timing device with you. And for 1 minute, just breathe in and out to relax your body and just get completely relaxed. Then after that minute, you can start timing, and you want to time 1 minute, and during that minute I want you to count how many breaths you take in and out. And a breath per minute is basically the inhale and the exhale counts as one breath. So 1 breath, 2 breaths, or the healthiest way to breathe, in and out through the nose. So those are 2 breaths, and you basically just want to determine how many breaths you are taking per minute. So go and do this exercise and determine how many breaths you are taking per minute, and then you can determine whether you are an overbreather or whether you fall somewhere in the average of 12 to 20 breaths per minute. When it comes to overbreathing, there is one easy way to stop with the overbreathing, and that is simply to resort back to the nasal breathing. When we breathe in and out through the mouth, it is very easy for our bodies to forget about correctly regulating our breath, but when we bring our awareness and our consciousness back to our breath, and we are consciously aware of breathing in and out through our nose, we are able to regulate the way in which we breathe. Furthermore, chronic overbreathing is detrimental to your breathing health, because when you're breathing too much and at too fast a rate, you are most likely going to resort to the thoracic or chest breathing, and once again with that chest breathing, that will take your body to operate in the sympathetic nervous system, that stress part of your nervous system. So with regards to asthma, you want to go and completely slow down your breathing rate. The slower your breathing rate, the better, because it gives your lungs that time and opportunity to actually extract that oxygen from that breath that you have taken in. So you want to slow down your breathing rate, and you want to concentrate on nasal breathing. So I'm going to provide you with some basic breathing exercises here to help you slow down your breathing rate and to step away from mouth breathing towards nasal breathing. And both of these exercises or these techniques that I'm going to show you, I guarantee you are going to be highly, highly beneficial for your asthma. And if you suffer from asthma and you've been suffering asthma for a number of years, I urge you to please go and practice these breathing techniques and these different breathing methods that I show you. There is so much scientific evidence and so much research behind everything that I'm teaching you here. So I'm not just teaching you something that I feel is right for you. There is an incredible amount of scientific backing with regards to asthma and these specific breathing habits and breathing patterns and breathing tips that I'm sharing with you. So if you suffer from asthma in any way, please go and practice these little breathing exercises that I'm going to share with you. One of the best ways and one of the easiest ways to reclaim your breathing health and to start really stepping into your full breathing health if you are asthmatic is to start practicing a breathing technique called coherent breathing. And coherent breathing is simply just breathing in a ratio of 1:1, so your inhale time needs to match your exhale time. And all that coherent breathing is going to do is it is going to slow down your breathing rate and slow down your breathing rhythm. So if you are a chronic overbreather, it will completely slow down your breathing rate. And in doing so, it is going to give your lungs that opportunity that they need to extract that oxygen from that breath and from that air that you have taken into your lungs. So if you are suffering from asthma, please watch this breathing technique and go and practice the coherent breathing on a daily basis and maintain that you breathe in and out through your nose when practicing this technique. But I can 100% assure you that if you are struggling from asthma and you start practicing this coherent breathing throughout the day on a daily basis, you are going to start noticing some incredible benefits that come from coherent breathing. Another really great way to regulate your internal system and allow your lungs to extract some good amount of oxygen from the breath that you take in is a breathing technique called coherent breathing. So coherent breathing is simply breathing in a ratio of 1:1 with our inhale and our exhale. And all that this is going to do is it is going to once again stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, bringing in a sense of calm, and it will also allow your lungs a little bit of extra time just to extract as much oxygen from the breath that you take in as possible. So this is a really great practice to do if you are feeling at all stressed or anxious, or if you perhaps have a low amount of energy and you are looking for a little bit more energy in your daily life. Coherent breathing, 1:1 breathing is a super simple breathing technique that will help you uplift your energy and also bring about a sense of calm and peace into your daily life. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to go with an inhale for a count of 5 seconds, hold for 1 second, and then exhale for a count of 5 seconds as well. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. What we're also going to do is we are going to concentrate the breathing energy into our diaphragmatic region, where 60% of our breathing capacity is, just so that we give our lungs the greatest chance to extract as much oxygen as possible from the breath that we take in. Okay, so before we start with the coherent breath, we are just going to take a big breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Into the first breath of coherent breathing. 5 second inhale, 1 second hold, 5 second exhale. Here we go. Inhale for 5. Hold and exhale. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Inhale. Hold. 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 Exhale. Repeat this technique for 5 to 10 minutes, and I guarantee you that you will start to feel that sense of calm and peace come upon you. This next breathing exercise is a very effective way of stopping yourself from having an asthmatic episode or having an asthmatic attack if you feel the signs and symptoms of an asthmatic attack coming on. So if you are asthmatic, you should be familiar with the different signs and symptoms that arise before you go and have an asthmatic episode. And if you experience those signs and symptoms at any stage and you realize that you are about to have an asthma attack, please go and practice this technique, because it is highly likely that it will stop you from having that asthmatic attack. Do this exercise if you feel yourself about to have an asthma attack. Simply stand there and take 3 big breaths in and out through the nose. On the exhale of your 3rd breath, hold your nose shut and hold your breath. You are then going to take 5 to 10 paces on empty lungs while holding your breath and holding your nose. Just a few paces like this, and then you can once again inhale through your nose and allow your breathing to return nice and calm and slow as you inhale and exhale through your nose. Once you have taken 30 to 60 seconds to recover, you can do the exercise again and exhale through your nose completely, holding your nose shut, and then taking another 5 to 10 paces while holding your breath. Exhaling, holding your nose, holding your breath, 5 to 10 paces, and then after 5 paces,
allowing your breath to come back in as you inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and another 30 to 60 seconds of calm, relaxed inhaling and exhaling. And repeat this process for roughly 5 to 10 minutes if you feel the onset of a panic attack coming on, and it is highly likely that this will stop you from having an attack.
So insomnia and not being able to sleep is a massive problem, and so many people suffer from insomnia. This year specifically, I have had so many of my breathwork clients coming to me and saying, Daniel, I have been struggling with my sleep. I'm not being able to sleep properly, and I'm waking up in the mornings feeling drained and tired, and I don't have any energy, and I can feel that my body has not rested properly. Please help me. How can I change my breathing habits? What can I do with my breathing to try and help me sleep better? And I have helped all of these people with insomnia through just a few basic breathing tricks and a few tips which I'm going to share with you. So if you suffer from insomnia or not being able to sleep in any way, please watch this, because it is going to help you get that good, healthy, full night's sleep that you have been hoping for. So there are a number of different breathing exercises and breathing techniques that you can use to try and calm your body down before you go to sleep, and to practice to try and get a good solid night's sleep so that you wake up feeling rested and rejuvenated. So I'm going to introduce you to the first technique, which I call the 3-4-5 technique, and this is just my modified version of the 4-7-8 technique, which is a very well-known breathing exercise to try and help with insomnia. So the 3-4-5 technique is simply just inhaling for a count of 3 seconds, holding your breath for 4 seconds, and then exhaling for 5 seconds. And why we do this is we're going to be breathing in through our nose for 3 seconds, holding our breath for 4 seconds, and then exhaling through our nose for 5 seconds. And the reason why we do this is just to completely slow down our breathing rate. And when we slow down our breathing rate, we slow down our heart rate, and we get our body to operate in the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest nervous system. So most people are constantly operating on the sympathetic side of the nervous system, that fight or flight side of the nervous system. And when you're operating in the sympathetic nervous system, you are getting the releases of those stress hormones such as the cortisol and the norepinephrine. And you can imagine if you're lying down there and you're feeling completely stressed, it's going to take your body a lot longer to relax and allow you to slip into a peaceful sleep. So this 3-4-5 technique is just going to simply slow down your breathing rate, slow down your heart rate, and in doing so take you to operate in the parasympathetic nervous system, and then you'll start to feel that calm, easy, peaceful sense come upon you, and then you're able to slip into a calm, relaxed sleep much easier than if you were operating on the stressed side of your nervous system.
The 3-4-5 technique is a perfect way to prepare yourself for sleep. Get comfortable in your sleeping position, lie down, and then go automatically to nasal breathing. You're going to be breathing in and out through your nose. In for 3 seconds, holding your breath for 4 seconds, and then exhaling for 5. Inhale for 3, holding your breath for 4, exhaling for 5 out through the nose. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Holding your breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat. Inhale, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat this process of inhaling for 3, holding for 4, and exhaling for 5. You want to repeat this for 10 to 20 minutes just before you go to sleep, and this will completely calm down your entire nervous system and put you in a good, calm, relaxed state so that you are more likely to achieve a beautiful, resting night's sleep.
So one of the best ways to get a good solid night's sleep is to make sure that you are breathing in and out through your nose while you are sleeping. And this is quite difficult if you are asleep and you are unconscious. Most people will resort straight back to mouth breathing while they are sleeping. And an easy way to figure out if you are mouth breathing when you are sleeping is if you wake up at any point during the night, or if you wake up in the morning and you have a dry mouth or a cotton mouth and you find yourself very thirsty and dehydrated, this means that you are a mouth breather during your sleep. And if you're mouth breathing during sleeping, you are denying your body access to that oxygen that it needs from your lungs to completely relax your body. And you'll also stop your body from fully stepping into the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest nervous system, where you are able to get a solid night's sleep. So then you ask yourself, how am I supposed to ensure that I'm breathing in and out through my nose if I am sleeping? Well, there is quite a simple answer, and all that we are going to do is we are going to tape our mouths shut. So this might sound a little bit scary and make you a bit nervous, but I guarantee you that this is completely safe to do, and it is a very common practice. And there are actually products on the market, specific tapes on the market to tape your mouth shut at night so that you resort to nasal breathing. And if you are naturally a nasal breather and you are breathing in and out through your nose on a daily basis for most of your habitual breathing, then you do not need to do this exercise. But if you find yourself breathing in and out through your mouth a lot, then this will be a highly beneficial practice for you to try. So what I suggest you do before you try this practice at night, and before you go and tape your mouth shut at night so that you resort back to the nasal breathing, is just simply to do it during the day so that you get comfortable with the idea of having your mouth taped shut, and you get comfortable in the knowledge that you'll be breathing in and out through your nose freely, even if your mouth is taped shut. If you go and try this straight away at night time without having tried it during the day, you can get yourself slightly stressed out by having your mouth shut, and then if you're stressed out, you'll automatically go back into the sympathetic nervous system, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So the exercise and the practice is quite easy. All that you do is you take a piece of that masking tape, and you want to make sure that it is a tape that is not going to cause an allergic reaction. And about 95% of the masking tapes that you can find at any of the hardware stores are completely suitable for this. So during the day, when you are at home, or if you are in the kitchen, wherever you are at work, you can just take a piece of tape and simply put it over your mouth and just feel how it feels to only breathe in and out through your nose. Once you are comfortable with the sensation of having your mouth taped shut, then you can go and do this before you go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, just simply put that tape over your mouth and make sure that it is not going to fall off, and then just completely relax your entire body, close your eyes, and then go into either the 3-4-5 technique or the 4-7-8 technique, breathing in and out through your nose with the tape over your mouth and your mouth taped shut. If you want to make sure that the tape doesn't hurt you when you put it on your mouth, you can just put it on the back of your hand like that a few times before you put it onto your mouth, just so that it removes some of the glue. And when you put it on, it is very easy to lift it off. And this might seem like a bit of a silly exercise, but I can assure you that if you go and practice this, and first just get yourself comfortable with having your mouth taped up during the day, and then go and try this at night time, and it will help you step into that deep state of relaxation, so that you're able to achieve a good solid night's sleep. And there are so many people that I have helped simply just with this technique of taping their mouths shut, and they come back to me and then say, "Daniel, this is incredible, it is amazing," and all that I'm doing is helping them go back to habitual nasal breathing. And the taping the mouth shut is the easiest way to do this. So don't be nervous about it. Like I said, it is completely safe. First, get yourself familiar with the feeling of having your mouth taped shut during the day, and then you can start practicing this when you are actually sleeping. In the last part of this video, I'm going to give you 2 very basic breathing exercises that you can do if you struggle with any kind of COPD issue, or if you have a weakened respiratory system. And all that we are going to do is we are going to practice the length of our inhales and the length of our exhales. And what this is going to do, it is going to start allowing you to start expanding on your overall respiratory health and your overall respiratory resilience, and then just start exercising your lungs and making your lungs nice and strong. So the first exercise is simply called the long inhale, and all that we are going to be doing here is playing around and exercising the length of our inhale, maintaining once again that we are inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So you can do this sitting up, lying down, wherever you are comfortable, and all that I want you to do is close your eyes, and I want you to see how long you can inhale for. And this might be a bit challenging in the beginning, but you'll slowly start to see that after a bit of daily practice, that the length of your inhale will increase second by second by second. In the beginning, you might only be able to inhale for a count of 3 seconds, and that is perfectly okay, even if it's only for 2 seconds. But all that this is doing is it is teaching you control and conscious control of your breathing mechanism, and conscious control of that inhale process, which is such a vital process in your breathing health. So the long inhale, You can simply just sit there or lie down and completely relax your body in whichever position you are practicing this. Close your eyes and just see how long you can inhale through your nose. When you reach that top of your inhale, just simply let your breath go and exhale through the nose. And if you got to 4 seconds or 5 seconds with the inhale, try that again. And then exhale. If 4 seconds or 5 seconds is easy, try take your inhale length to 6 seconds or 7 seconds. And exhale. Inhaling nice and long, nice and strong. And exhaling. So just play around with that length of your inhale, and if you start off really slow, that is perfectly okay. But if you practice this for a few days and you just get a few seconds more and more each time on your inhale length, that is perfect indication that you're starting to strengthen your lungs and you're starting to strengthen your breathing mechanism and all the different muscles that are responsible for your breathing health and that healthy breath that you can take in. And this might seem like a really simple and almost insignificant exercise, but I can only assure you 100% that by practicing this, something as simple as just increasing the length of your inhale, you're going to start strengthening your breathing mechanism, you're going to start strengthening your lungs, and in doing so you're going to step into a healthy breathing state and create healthy breathing habits. Now on to the long exhale. We are going to do exactly the same thing that we did with the long inhale. So we are going to maintain that we are breathing in and out through the nose. But when we exhale, we are going to concentrate on seeing how long we can prolong that exhale and how long you can really stretch out that exhale. And all that this is going to do is it is going to teach you control of your breath and of your breathing mechanism. And that breathwork control is vitally important for your overall breathing health and your overall breathing ability. So if you do suffer from COPD, or if you have weak lungs, or you have impaired lungs in any way, I please urge you to practice both the long inhale and the long exhale, just to start working on your overall lung strength and getting those lungs to a healthy place once again. So you can just take a nice inhale through the nose, and then see how long you can exhale. And when you exhale, you can also create a humming sound in your mouth if you want, and just slowly let that air out your nose. You can do it without the hum. Inhaling and exhaling, nice and long, controlled exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. once again, if you're only able to exhale for 2 to 3 seconds or 4 seconds, that is perfectly okay. But just it takes a little bit of daily practice and a little bit of daily breathwork exercise, and just consistently try and lengthen that time of your exhale. And in doing so, you're going to strengthen your lungs, you're going to strengthen your breathing mechanism, and you're going to create an overall better and optimum breathing health for yourself.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you learned something of value. Have fun, stay safe, and breathe deep.